Bulabinaka, my name is Litia and I'm from the beautiful island of Laos and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Casey, I'm from Tabua. We love Today FM in Tabua. Today FM rocks.
My name is Selena, I'm from Tawenga Vengamba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Pula, my name is Carlo. I love listening to the music in Today FM, in Malak Island. Today FM rock.
Today's hit music.
In the news tonight, be wary of old-minded politicians, says PM. Affected cane farmers to be assisted by government. An overtime pay for non-teacher civil servants.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
Fijians should be wary of the tactics being used by old-minded politicians who will indulge in lies and deceit to win votes. Prime Minister Vurenge Bainimarama, while officiating at the opening of the Tailevu Provincial Council meeting today, said the trend of false election promises was once again becoming prevalent. He says the old politicians did not have any concern for the people of Fiji and would go to any length to create fear and rumour mongering. Ali Kimbia with the story.
Prime Minister Vurenge Bainimarama was steadfast and did not hide behind shadows as he told the people of Tailevu to be wary of lying politicians. With the general elections approaching, Bainimarama says his government and its work will be tested with unsubstantiated claims and lies.
They will bring a lot of old topics and conversation that are all lies. We should be aware of all this, and they will also say that our land will be taken away from us. These are lies.
The PM once again took a swipe at the keyboard warriors and those hiding or using behind social media to spread lies and create disharmony amongst Fijians.
We Fijians should go away from spreading lies and degrading people on Facebook, as this is not what we are known for and it is against our values.
Bainimarama also took out time to tell the members of the Tailevu Provincial Council to serve their people with truth.
I want this provincial council to follow the path of my government in delivering the best for the people, and this is important because we need you to tell the truth and refrain from lying to the people.
Meanwhile, the Tailevu Provincial Council meeting starts today and will conclude tomorrow. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
Around 3,165 hectares of cane farms were badly affected in the aftermath of Tropical Cyclone Josie and Tropical Cyclone Kenny. The Sugar Ministry has also confirmed around 3,410 hectares of ratoons were also affected. Farmers are urged to fill an application form available at the Sugarcane Growers Council and FSC, allowing government assistance. Savara Tambor reports.
The Sugar Ministry, together with the FSC, will assess applications sent in by affected cane farmers seeking assistance from the government.
So for all those affected farms, government will pay total cost for those farms that have been affected with the area that I have just mentioned. So a formula has been worked out, and based on that we will determine with FSC how much fertilizer is needed for these farms, and government will pay for the full cost.
The Sugarcane Growers Council, while highlighting a few challenges faced by farmers in the recent cyclones and previous flooding, is adamant the Waterways Ministry is looking at solving all water resource management issues.
Floodwaters have brought in debris and silt into the farms, blocked field drains and natural waterways, and it has also caused extensive damage to cane access road and crossings.
We've got a huge task in front of it, and we hope that some of these areas which can be solved, for example, you know, that there are drains which hasn't been done for 50 years or more. They've been left in the same state for decades, so we need to fix this up.
Damage to cane farms from the two cyclones amounted to around $3.7 million, while damage to cane access roads amounted to $5.5 million. Sabira Tambua, FBC News.
476 people in Kandavu continue to take shelter in 21 evacuation centres spread across 5 community halls and 16 private homes on the island. Commissioner Eastern Luke Moroivalu says the National Disaster Management Office over the last 2 weeks distributed 5,000 ration packs to assist in the recovery efforts, with another 400 relief packs to be distributed this week. Moroivalu says local assessment teams are on the ground to finalize the cost of damage, with agriculture and housing the key sectors affected. Tropical Cyclone Kenny, which made landfall in Kandavo on April 10th, led to massive destruction on the island, with more than 200 homes completely damaged and over 600 houses sustaining some form of structural damage.
Levels of resilience and recovery by the villages is very high, because with the ration that have been given to them, they should be able to manage for the time being in terms of recovery at village level.
Cane farmers of Wailevu and Lambasa are calling for the urgent repair of floodgates in the Tiri area to prevent saltwater intrusion into their farms. The salinity of the soil is making cane farming a challenge. Eleanor Tarangaivu has the details.
For over a decade now, cane farmers in the Wailevu Tiri area have been dealing with an unwanted guest, saltwater from the nearby creeks and river.
It actually kills the cane because it is seawater, high in salt.
When this happens, the farmers incur heavy losses. Some farmers lose 80 to 150 tons of cane annually to saltwater intrusion. This means a loss of $6,000 to $30,000 each season.
The input into the fields is same, but because of poor yield, can't do much.
The farmers are putting the blame on damaged floodgates. There are 5 altogether in the Wailevu Tiri area, all of which require some work.
It is old, very old, and not been maintained well.
The farmers are given agricultural lime to help take away the salinity of the soil. However, they say it is not working and they want a permanent solution.
Repair all the floodgates, fully repaired, so that we don't have water, seawater coming into the drainage system. Once it comes into the drainage system, it seeps into the farms.
FBC News understands the first of the 5 floodgates in the Wailevu Tiri area has been repaired, and work on repairing the other 4 continues. Eleanor Turangaibiu, FBC News.
All civil servants, excluding teachers on salary band F, are now eligible for overtime pay as of the 18th of this month. Civil Service Minister Aya Said Kayum says this is part of the ongoing and comprehensive civil service reforms being undertaken by the government.
All non-teacher civil servants on Band F will be compensated for overtime hours. Overtime back pay will also be extended for all essential health workers on Band F, starting from the time they began work under their new contracts. Civil Service Minister Said Kayum says the expansion of overtime pay is another positive outcome of the government's ongoing civil service reform.
He adds they have made the civil service a more attractive merit-based career path that competes with the private sector to retain and attract top talented people.
He says the back pay essential for workers in the healthcare system is recognition of their hard work and dedication. Overtime compensation was previously made available to nurses on Band F and non-teacher civil servants on pay Band E. However, Said Kayum says the new inclusive policy will create a more equitable workplace where extra hours and work are properly compensated. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
Still to come, court reinstates Chaudhry's election application and free heart screening and surgeries for children. Stay with us.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo tali taka na varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Uti kuminasong buti ko lang, ndo tali taka na Radio Fiji 1 kina Domoy Viti.
Kaya kuyago sila tali, nagurara may naomanyi, nandunga. Gitu tali tajiri ang gitu pinasabali, nagudurong varorong na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti na bonga ni BNN.
The Suva High Court has reinstated the proceedings for Mahendra Chaudhry's application on his eligibility to contest this year's general election. The proceedings were stayed after Chaudhry failed to pay costs as ordered by the court. Pranita Prakash reports.
The stay on the proceedings has been removed after Mahendra Chaudhry's lawyer Anand Singh informed the court His client has paid $2,000 as ordered by the High Court in a previous matter which was struck out. Chaudhry was also ordered to pay $500 for a matter which was called last month. Chaudhry's lawyer told the court that they have filed an amended summons and affidavit. However, Solicitor General Sharvada Sharma told the court that no application for the previous proceedings to be reinstated has been made by the plaintiff, adding the amended application cannot be allowed. Sharma said the entire application is legally flawed. High Court Judge Justice Kamal Kumar said court ordered the plaintiff on the last occasion to file a formal application for the proceedings to be reinstated. The judge told Chaudhry's lawyer that procedures set by the court has to be followed. Singh withdrew the amended summons after the judge instructed he should not have filed it. Chaudhry is challenging that he is eligible to contest the general election. According to Sharma, the plaintiff's application is effectively saying the constitution is unconstitutional. The matter has been adjourned to the 9th of next month for hearing on the strikeout application filed by Sharma on the court's jurisdiction to hear the case. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
A trial date has been fixed for Government MP Balminder Singh, who is charged with one count of assault causing actual bodily harm. It's alleged Singh assaulted a man at a nightclub in Suva in December last year. Singh's matter was stood down for half an hour as his lawyer was not present in court. The Magistrates Court has set his dates from the 29th to the 30th of October. The Fiji Sri Sathya Sai Sanjeevani Medical Centre will provide free heart screening and surgeries for children in Fiji when it begins providing services. The director of Sai Medical Centre says they will have provisions for visiting cardiologists to assist our children. Catherine Krishna reports.
More than 50 successful open heart surgeries were conducted by the foundation in a span of 2 years, and they're working together with the Health Ministry to conduct more.
We're also going to have visiting cardiologists coming, doing screenings for children, identifying those that need surgeries, and then Sai Prema Foundation also collaborates with the Sri Sathya Sai Sanjeevani Hospital in Raipur.
Director of India's Sri Sathya Sai Sanjeevani Hospital, Dr. Ashish Katewa, says children deserve a good childhood and living with a heart problem prevents them from living a normal life. Hence, conducting free heart surgeries will enable these children to return to normalcy.
Diseases do not manifest. So the key role which this medical center is going to perform is to go out in the hinterland, go out into interior villages, go out on the other islands where children are, and to screen them and make a registry of children with congenital heart defects.
We come from villages and most of us sell for a living. And this initiative will greatly help us spare some money to buy school items for our children.
Provide medical facilities like that for free for the people. I think we should support it.
I think it's a big blessing to all the children in Fiji.
Dr. Katewa says once children are registered in the system, then open heart surgeries will be conducted for free. He adds the medical center will also provide follow-up care after surgery for children. Catherine Krishna, FBC News.
Police Commissioner Brigadier General Sithiven Ngilio says the target set by the force to acquire 130 motorbikes to meet the demand placed on their services has been achieved. The bikes handed over today will be used to maneuver through the heavy traffic and improve the response time of police in their crackdown on criminal activities. Ngilio says the desired outcome is for Fijians to have an increased level of confidence in police, enabling them to feel safer in their homes and on the roads. He says Fijians expect results, and it's up to the police to deliver, as no one else will be accountable for the use of the motorbikes.
We must remain grounded and know that behind the pomp and ceremony, our focus should also be on how we are going to deploy these motorbikes, so that we are able to meet our mission of creating a safer Fiji.
Permanent Secretary for Women, Dr. Josefa Koroivueta, says Fiji will be a better country once women are trained and their platforms are changed. Speaking at the Formal Sector Employment and Livelihood Task Force meeting, Koroivueta says gender analysis have been done across the government agencies, clearly showing women tend to populate the lower cadre. He says things need to change, whether it is decision-making, science, academia, education, or any other sector. Koroivueta says women should be given space to contribute powerfully towards the development of the country.
This will be the first task force. We have actually re-engineered the machinery
to lay a good foundation where we advance empowerment of women. There's been a change in the women platform, and we felt best that we have a task force with their expertise, basically to give advice to the state, also to progress or spearhead new dimensions or initiatives when you look at gender inequality.
In sports later, international bouts lined up for Winston Hill, but we now join Rachel with business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up in business tonight, Phonology Scoops Outstanding Performance Award 2017. And in growing Fiji water wars in Cuba to end soon. Stay with us.
मैं प्रेमिला वायरुकु रेकी रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची एफएम सुनती हूँ। मिर्ची एफएम इज नंबर 1, इट्स सो हॉट।
हम लोग बार टाउन के कैरियर ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची एफएम सुनो अच्छा लगे। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट।
हाय, मैं संध्या नारिया रेफरी से मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची एफएम सुनते हैं। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट। आई लव मिर्ची एफएम।
हमें स्पिन टोटो ताबुआ के मिर्ची एफएम में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे।
मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट।
In business tonight, Phonology has received the Outstanding Performance Award 2017 during the Samsung Annual Network Conference. The conference was hosted by Samsung Electronics New Zealand in Auckland last week, where 5 awards were given out. Phonology was the only service company outside of New Zealand to receive an award. This is the second time for Phonology to have been recognized by Samsung, having won the same award in 2016. And we now join Sharon from HFC Bank with the latest from the financial market.
Thank you. Foreign exchange market today was lacking data from both the European and US sessions. The market seemed less volatile as traders await the outcome of the European Central Bank interest rate decision tonight. Meanwhile, rising US Treasury yields are driving the US dollar higher across the broader FX market. The Aussie is catching a slight boost from their import-export price indexes, which is printed an upside surprise for both figures. The import price index came out at 2.1%, while export price index was at 4.9. The Australian dollar has little meaningful data left on the macro calendar for the week, but tomorrow we have the New Zealand trade balance for the month of March, and it is expected to be lower than last recorded. All this caused some movement in our currency basket, and that is coming up next. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thanks for the update, Sharon. Taking a look at today's currency exchange rate set this morning for the Fijian dollar. A mixed day as our dollar lost ground against the Chinese yuan, the US dollar, the PNG kina, and it gained against the Aussie, the New Zealand dollar, and the euro and the Japanese yen. As for the commodities market, oil prices closed at $68.36 a barrel. Gold dropped to close at $1,322 an ounce, and silver followed suit, closing at $16.56 an ounce. And in growing Fiji tonight, complaints by residents in Cuva Tailevu about the frequent bus water main and low water pressure will soon end. Water Authority engineers are in the final stage of replacing the pipes in Cuva. More than 900 people will soon receive water supply around the clock in their homes. The replacement water main will improve the capacity and sustainability of the current infrastructure and enhance the supply of safe water. WEF has spent over $642,000 on the project. And that's it from business this evening. Now to sports. Jamie joins you with the latest.
Thanks, Rachel, and good evening. Coming up in sports, Nadumbu out to prove selection, and Fiji to host Special Olympics regional games for the first time. This and more after the break.
मैं प्रेमिला वायरुकु रेकी रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची एफएम सुनती हूँ। मिर्ची एफएम इज नंबर 1, इट्स सो हॉट।
हम लोग बार टाउन के कैरियर ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची एफएम सुनो अच्छा लगे। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट।
हाय, मैं संध्या नारिया रेफ्रिकी से मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची एफएम सुनते हैं। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट, आई लव मिर्ची एफएम।
हमें इस भी पता हुआ कि मिर्ची एफएम में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे।
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
After missing out on the Commonwealth Games, Fiji Airways men's sevens playmaker Waisea Nadhungu will be out to cement his place back in the national side. Nadhungu had an impressive outing at the Singapore Sevens last year and hopes to replicate that this weekend. Vasnil Prasad reports.
Waisea Nadhungu was tagged as one of the best players in the Singapore Sevens last year. The Fijian playmaker scored 9 tries and earned 47 points for the national team.
I'm so blessed to be part of the squad to Singapore. Even though I wasn't part of the national squad to the recent Commonwealth Games, but I did my best to go to Singapore.
Nadhungu has commended coach Gareth Beiba for selecting the best available players for the tournament.
We have 2 new boys in the squad, but they are no strangers to rugby, and we are looking forward on their contribution in the weekend.
Fiji Sevens Robersford, Isaki Kotonimbao says despite the second place finish in the Commonwealth Games, the players will bounce back in Singapore this weekend.
When you get down, you get up again, and that shows resilience. And I believe the boys can bounce back and play to the best of their ability this weekend.
Fiji begins its campaign against Japan on Saturday afternoon before facing Russia and Spain in its pool matches. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
The Singapore Sevens has been a bag of surprises for the last 2 years. Kenya and Canada both grabbing its first ever World Series title wins at the tournament in 2016 and 2017. Now with another tournament ready for kickoff, the question is, will there be another surprise winner? Vashnil Prasad has more.
They have made history. Last year's Singapore Sevens win is still fresh in the minds of Canadian playmaker Nathan Hirayama. The side hoisted its first ever cup title, defeating USA 26-19 in the final. Despite their shaky performance this season, the reigning champs are confident to retain their title.
I think one thing that we've been really struggling with this year is just limiting our own mistakes and things like that. And you kind of see the best teams on the circuit make less mistakes. And you know, that's one thing we're really focusing on, and just yeah, I think we're just got to go out there and express ourselves and have a good time.
Another team which surprised the rugby world was Kenya when they beat Fiji 30 points to 7 in the 2016 final. Playing against our national team in the last 2 consecutive finals this season, the Kenyans have also set their sights on winning the tournament.
Putting in the hard work, never giving up, always having the belief that you can go the extra mile and win it, hopefully, if you get to the finals here.
It will be interesting to watch if a dominant team wins the title, or will there be another surprise for Rugby Sevens this weekend? Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
World Rugby 7 Series table leaders South Africa know it won't be easy defending its series title this year. The team currently sits on top of the series standings with 126 points, only 3 more than Fiji. And with 3 tournaments to play, Captain Kyle Brown believes consistency will be key.
I think this weekend and the other 2 tournaments left in the series, the London and Paris leagues, are all going to be important. You know, it's important that you maintain the consistency that we have. You know, that's exactly what we spoke about.
Suva Football will rely on its senior players when they take on Lambasa and Raketi in the Vodafone Premier League this weekend. The capital side has been boosted with the services of national rep Simeone Tamnisau, Epeli Liroti and Setereki Hughes. Meli Tavanga reports.
The capital side has a win, a loss and a draw in their bag after round 3 of the Vodafone Premier League. And the boys have their eyes on 2 more wins this weekend.
I want to see good football like we've been working for the last couple of months. So just see a good football and good performance from every guy.
The Whites are working on their weaknesses and at the same time looking at ways to defend the Northerners.
To keep them out of the game as much as possible. I know they're a really good side, so hopefully we'll do what we can to counter all what they have.
Defender Waisaikin of Winning Asau says they will not take the 2 matches lightly.
With Lambasa coming through with more senior players in the team,
but we'll try and finish this week's game with 6 points.
The capital side is in 6th place with 4 points in the league standings. They will meet Lambasa tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. before battling Reketi at 1 p.m. Saturday. Melita Wanga, FBC Sports.
After winning bronze at the Commonwealth Games, boxer Winston Hill wants to keep the momentum going as he prepares for the Pacific Games and 2020 Olympics. Coach Napoleon Taumoepeau says the plan is to get a few international bouts under his belt, and after going to the Olympics and grabbing a Commonwealth medal, securing a fight is a lot easier. Meli Tavanga reports.
The bronze medal win has pushed the young boxer's coach to plan more international fights for Winston Hill.
Sparring with Quadro, so Quadro's got a fight coming up, but he's in camp with Quadro. Once that's done, I think he should take just a few weeks off, and then we'll head over to New Zealand or Australia, get some fights over there. And
Taumoepeau says they have received a lot of interest from Australia challenging Hill to the ring. 34-year-old Winston Hill says these exposures will help him in the long run.
Immediate goal is to fundraise, save money, and travel to New Zealand and Australia. Just keep that rhythm going of international experience and exposure.
Plans are also in the pipeline to fight in the United States by the year end. These international fights will be a testing ground for Hill as he prepares for the 2019 Pacific Games and the 2020 Olympic Games. Melita Wanga, FBC Sports.
Special Olympics Fiji for the first time will host the Fiji Invitational Regional Games in Suva next week. The 4 other countries from the region to contest the event will be Papua New Guinea, Samoa, Tonga and Kiribati. Athletes will compete in swimming, table tennis, football, netball and athletics. Special Olympics Fiji chairperson Bishwa Sidal says 300 Fijians from various districts and special institutions will represent our nation at the competition. Meanwhile, Digicel has shown its support by giving $8,000 cash sponsorship for the Games.
The idea of getting athletes together has been there since our inception 3-4 years ago. And the idea of the Pacific Island families and athletes coming together is definitely eventuating.
To say firstly, we're very proud to support the Special Olympics Fiji in the hosting of the Fiji Invitational Regional Games in Suva next week.
Real Madrid has inched closer to their 3rd straight Champions League final after beating Bayern Munich this morning. The Melbourne Storm thrust the Warriors 50 points to 10 in the annual Anzac Day showdown last night. While the Warriors came in as NRL Premiership contenders, the Storm delivered a statement that they wouldn't be handing over their title without a fight. In today's play of the day, LeBron James hits a 3-pointer at the buzzer to give Cleveland a 98-95 victory over the Indiana Pacers today in Game 5, putting the Cavs within 1 victory of advancing in the Eastern Conference playoffs. Moments after blocking Victor Oladipo's possible go-ahead driving layup, James caught the inbounds pass, took 2 dribbles and dropped the winner over Thaddeus Young. That's it from sports this evening. Angie joins you later on with weather. And in the world of the weird and the wonderful, the first female statue in London's Parliament Square unveiled. That's coming up.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo talita kana varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon ko untuk talita na Radio Fiji 1 kina Domoy Viti.
Kaya kuyaga sila tale, nagurara may naomanyi, nandunga. Gitu talita gini ang gitu pinasibale, nagudurong varorong na Radio Fiji 1.
Aces Aspire E15, an unusual mix of old, new performance and value. As long as you don't need an ultra-portable, this 15-inch laptop has everything from long battery life to discrete graphics and even a DVD burner. It's weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. It's been a great day with some great weather.
Hope you enjoyed your day with fantastic sunshine and sure to stay hydrated, especially in this humid weather. Taking a quick look in the West for today, another brightly lit day was experienced with light showers expected for later tonight. Eastwards from Pekhava to Suva, it was gorgeous and humid. And up north, a cloudy one with light showers. It's taking away all the mugginess. At sea, southeast winds gusting up to 20 knots with moderate to rough seas. For the tides, low tide tonight will be at 9:42 p.m. with high tide at 4:12 a.m. Sunrise will be at 6:19. For tomorrow, it's the mighty loved by all Friday, and the bonus is the weather's looking fine apart from a few light showers. Tomorrow's temps, Suva will be the coolest at 29 degrees. And looking further on to Saturday, there's light to moderate showers expected. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fiji and Pulse tonight, we asked what kind of punishment should be dished out to those that circulate or post pornographic material of underage children.
We can implement heavy fines on people who post nude pictures on social media.
I believe as a penalty should be imposed.
I think they should be given life sentence.
The punishment that should be given to them is life. Stay there in the prison until death, because nothing good comes from them.
People who are posting stupid pictures to public, they should be given punishment.
In the world of the weird and the wonderful, a century after women won the right to vote in the UK, a statue of one of the suffrage's leading campaigners has been unveiled in London. Millicent Fawcett dedicated her life to peaceful campaigning, and now her monument stands as the first woman in Parliament Square among many men. Recapping the main stories for tonight, be wary of old-minded politicians, says PM. Affected cane farmers to be assisted by government. And overtime pay for non-teacher civil servants. Now for these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question this week, we are asking, do you think more should be invested to develop athletes to meet international standards? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day sent in by Bill Molindenge, a shot of the sunset ending a day beautifully. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, stay safe. Good night.
Wrong on the radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon mo ko lang do talita na radio Fiji 1 kina Domoy Viti.
Kaya kuya sila tale. Nagurara may na omani nandunga. Gitu talita gini ang dubina sebale bum nangudurong. Barong na radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti.
Na radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti na bonga ni BNN.